I think we are now live. As long as it's working, everything's good. It looks like it's good to me. It looks like we're showing up on the chat. That face is glorious face that you've got going on there.
Exactly. It's because I didn't know we were on, and I'm like, oh.
You're like, hey guys, how's it going?
At least it wasn't one of these.
Yeah, well, at least you weren't like picking. Oh, yes, exactly. I'm watching you up top and then you delayed.
I know.
So I was like, in one of them you were doing like this wonky face, and then the other one you were looking like you were picking your nose. So lovely, right there. I'm just gonna go ahead and cover you up so that way I just get the live the live Kelly. That's what I need to see. I need to see the live Kelly, not the delayed Kelly. So. Thank you guys for hanging out with us and joining as we talk about Fear the Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 3. Oh, God, they're going to make me do this. Why? It's like every year.
Tawanke, to Itawaka.
Teotawaki. That's my best.
No,
that's my best.
It was bad.
No, that's not it. I mean, come on now. I think Teo, because it's spelled Teo. Twawki. Teotawaki. I know he even said it in like in the episode, but I completely forgot like how he pronounced it, and I didn't have time to go back and watch it because we literally just finished the episode up. So, but it does stand for the end of the world as we know it, and in Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead, it is the end of the world as we know it. Hopefully this episode was not the end of our time discussing Fear the Walking Dead as we know it, because hopefully we quasi semi sort of like the episode.
No. It was fine.
All right. Well, we'll get into that really quickly. As you can see up there on the top left, we are breaking it out into the topics that we're going to discuss really quickly because we're actually going to go and live stream the Sony E3 PlayStation press conference that happens at 8 o'clock. So we got to get through Fear the Walking Dead a little bit quicker than we did last week. But yeah, so we're going to get into these topics. The first one up is overall episode thoughts. Second topic is what game is Madison playing? Because it definitely seems like she's up to some no good stuff.
Some shenanigans.
Yes, I don't know.
I'm not even drinking. Good God.
Yeah, I know. Not even drinking and mispronouncing words like that. But I think that's a part of our shtick at this point is terrible pronunciations of words. And then I think an interesting topic to get into, and we'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the chat. Who is the real villain of Fear the Walking Dead Season 3? It seems like we've got a lot of stuff going on right now, and it feels like they're trying to throw us off a little bit with who the real villain is in this season. So, and then get into some chat discussion. So let's get in really quickly to our overall episode thoughts. Did you or did you not like Fear the Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 3?
I did like it. I thought it was a very interesting episode. We got to see more depth of character, even if the character's depth was crazy town. Yes. It was. Everybody was just really, really odd and off, and the whole thing with Alicia and the Bible study,
Christ risen.
Yes, yeah, and it was just so odd. I don't remember ever seeing her smoke pot before, but she went to it like, it was her favorite thing ever. Like she'd been missing it, and like she did it every day, and we just suddenly, are joining in on that.
Which is weird, right? Because Nick's an addict, and so you would assume that they most likely. From everything that I recall about Alicia in Season 1, she was the golden child. She was the one that didn't do anything. She was always the one that needed to set the example for Nick, so hopefully Nick would come back around. And we know that that's been like a point of contention for Alicia's character on the show with Madison, because it's like, you're like, hey, bitch, you got the golden child right in front of your face, and you keep trying to, chase after Nick.
Exactly. You ignore me for the one that does all the bad stuff. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe this is her attempt at being a little bit bad.
It kind of felt like that, a little bit of rebellion, but it was also really weird, them breaking out Jeff's head and having a chit chat with Jeff's head. What was that?
There were really, honestly, there was a lot of insanity that went on in this episode. So Jeff's head, Nick and his attempt at Troy's life, or at least to scare Troy, and then rolling around with him in the dirt and laughing hysterically.
Yeah.
I didn't get that at all.
No, I'm right there with you. I don't know what they were trying to do with that. I guess in some level I can understand it because that's just what dudes do. It's like...
Is that what dudes do, really? Please tell me.
Not this dude. I don't do that. I mean, if you try to kill me, probably not going to be your best bro like an hour or so later, maybe, or let's just say a day or two later. I'm not going to be your best friend.
The timeline was a little confusing for me, too, because when we left Troy before, he had this big patch on his eye from Madison spooning him. And
is that what you get from spooning? Now I know
that's
why
what you get from
I'm
spooning.
not a big fan of spooning, because then you almost lose an eye.
Yes, your eye bleeds all over the place. And he was actually able to see out of it. So I'm kind of sad that they're not going to keep him in a patch because he looked really good in the constant patch.
Whatever medical care they have on the Auto Ranch, I mean, I want some of that shit, because I was pretty certain that his eyeball was going to be outside of his head.
Yeah.
But apparently it's still there. It's intact. And he kind of looked good. Like, he looked like he basically, he looked like somebody socked him in the eye as opposed to somebody putting a spoon into his eyeball. Mm-hmm.
It looked like when I have gone just a little overboard with the curling iron and just kind of actually just got myself just a little bit right here, and that's it.
Oh,
that
wow.
Is,
I think you
just
need
a
to
little
watch out there.
A little burn, that's all. So there was craziness. We had Nick's craziness, we had Alicia's craziness, and then Madison and her weird. And I know we're going to get into that topic, but the whole put the napkin on Troy's lap thing, what the fudge was going on there?
That felt overly sexual.
Yeah, I told you. That's where they were going with that.
It did seem like the Bone Zone move. Like they, she's like, let me just, just place this on your on your lap here. Yeah, if she would have went like full blown like crotch,
Yeah.
Because that's, I mean, that's where the placement is. It's not, I mean, who eats over their thigh? That's a little bit difficult. I mean, you place the napkin like over your crotch region so that way you don't, it doesn't come out of your mouth all over to your crotch.
Yes, because nobody wants crumbs in their crotch.
No, exactly. I mean, unless you have Madison there to, to handle them.
Brush them away.
Well, I wasn't going to say brush them away, but, probably something awkward and weird. But yeah, there was a lot of weirdness in this episode overall. There was some funky bits that I just didn't quite understand where they were going with. Mainly being that Nick and Troy stuff. That was probably the most egregiously weird, because Nick started sounding like the Joker as he was laughing, ripping up all the papers. I don't know. Whatever. I'll let it go, because I think overall the episode was enjoyable. I had a lot of fun watching it as we kind of see the Clarks trying to integrate within the Auto Ranch, Brokejaw Ranch, and everything.
Now, I will say that I did like in that whole scene the fact that Troy acted totally like he was serious about the whole science of killing somebody and seeing when they turn.
Yeah.
Based on weight and age and, body condition and all that. I mean, he was like, no, do it, brah. Kill me, brah.
Kill me, brah. I mean, I thought that was a very interesting thing. He says, I need to know why we spoil. I thought that was a great line whenever Troy delivered that to Nick. That's why I thought it was even stranger as he ripped the notes up and started laughing maniacally, because and then for Troy to say, I think we can be buds now. After that, I don't know. That's just
I think we can be buds now, and I'm gonna be your new stepdaddy.
Yeah, exactly. Stepdaddy Troy coming aboard. I think you might have to fight Jeremiah off for stepdaddy, the title, because. And
I think that's where Madison is going with this.
I think so
really
too.
do.
I think so too. I think we'll get into a little bit of that with what game is Madison playing. But overall, I didn't not like this episode. It's so weird to me. Every Fear the Walking Dead episode, I'm never like just super duper high.
Oh my
on
God,
them.
I loved it. Like that.
Exactly. But I think overall it wasn't a bad episode. The only thing that I will say, I wanted to get this out now because I thought it was. I just hope that this doesn't happen. I hope that they do not turn this into a Walking Dead scenario where, The Walking Dead beats it over our head, the whole, like, prepared versus unprepared. And that's like a theme that they keep going back to. It's like the well. They're like, okay, let's come upon Alexandria. Oh, these people aren't prepared. They're going to die off. Oh,
Right.
we meet this other group. They've got these random people that just aren't prepared to handle the zombie apocalypse. And then when we saw like this Christ Risen group, I started to get a little bit worried about that, like with Brokejaw Ranch and the fact that the Christ Risen group are looking up to Troy and saying like, well, he goes and does the things that we just can't do. But I thought there was an interesting twist with that with Alicia, because Alicia didn't really look down upon them. It was more like they kind of looked up to Alicia, and it wasn't like a looking up to Alicia like please save us type of way. It was more like a genuine
Like, you're
interest.
cool.
Yeah,
Look
yeah,
what
exactly.
you've done.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of a nice little twist on that whole prepared versus unprepared situation that we've seen many, many times on The Walking Dead play out. So hopefully
I did
they
love
just don't do that.
the whole infomercial thing
At the
with
beginning.
Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so great. Buy my 4 tapes, and when you buy it now, you get this bucket of preparedness.
Yes.
That was that was too cool. I liked that a lot. And again, they did awesome computer graphics on de-aging him, making him look young. He looked great.
Yeah, Wayne Unser looked great. That's I'll always remember him as Wayne Unser. We'll see how Fear the Walking Dead plays out, and if it will be, if his character will become as memorable as Wayne Unser on Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
Andrew said, I like this episode a lot, and this is a good point that Andrew brought up. I like that Madison basically says it's Nick's fault for Travis's death, even though she didn't mean it. So, getting into that with, what game is Madison playing? Mm-hmm. Did you expect her to drop that bomb on Nick in this episode? I was kind of wondering if she felt that way because, Nick was sort of the cause of Travis's death. Not the direct cause, but since they went to that compound and got on that helicopter, it's this whole sequence of events. That's what ultimately caused Travis to die. Yeah,
but I don't think, really and truly, I don't feel like Madison feels that way. Nick can do no wrong in her eyes. She could give a crap less about anybody else outside of her family. Now, she may be trying to pretend that a little bit right now.
Yeah.
But I don't think that she truly meant it.
I don't know. It feels to me like I think I feel the opposite. I feel like something's turning with Madison. Not necessarily against Nick. I don't think that it'll ever be that. I don't think that's ever going to be the case. Like, I don't think that she's going to suddenly, try to kill Nick or something stupid like that. But whenever she's having that conversation with Jeremiah and she says that, I spent the last 5 years waiting on a call from the morgue and just, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Now that, okay. I'm sorry. I was wrong in my placement of that.
Yeah.
She told him that. Yeah. Because that is part of her game.
Oh, okay.
She told Jeremiah that because, to feel like I'm opening up, I'm unloading. We both have sons that are odd and different.
Gotcha.
And so, this is her way of bonding with him. That was all bullshit. That was all part of her game.
So
that was totally it.
Oh, okay. So you think she's just complete? I mean, it makes total sense because if you go back to episodes 2, I guess just episode 2, with that whole conversation that she had with, I think it was Nick and Alicia. I'm pretty certain Nick was there as well. Whenever she's like, we'll take this place if need be. Like, this is our new home. This is where we're going to stay at and everything. Yeah, you're probably right about that. I don't know. It was so weird and sudden, and some of the things that they've done on Fear the Walking Dead, sometimes they don't make complete sense, and they never go back to those plot points and explain them further. So I was thinking in this if you looked at this episode individually, like, oh, wait, she's like coming around and everything. But yeah, I think you're completely right that she's just completely playing the Ottos. She's not really playing Troy. I think she's pretty straight up with Troy, right?
No, she's playing him too.
Oh, you think so?
I think what she's doing here is, because I think she can see that Troy has some kind of weird crush on her. I'm not going to argue with you about what the crush is, whether it's sexual or if he just needs a mama, because his mom was a drunk and, and he needs a mother figure.
And she abused him, right? That's what Jeremiah said in this episode, I believe.
Did he say that?
Not a physical abuse, emotional abuse.
Oh yeah. Well, she was a drunk, so I'm assuming that they were trying to say that she was a horrible, horrible drunk. But I think she's going to make it where that Jeremiah and Troy end up having to fight for her. And possibly, I don't know, kill each other. I feel like she's playing a game with everybody.
I could see that. There's something weird going on, obviously, with Troy and Madison. There is some kind of connection that it seems like Troy wants, because even that conversation that Troy had with Madison in their bunk whenever they first talked in the beginning of the episode, he's just hanging out there and everything, and he's telling her that Nick doesn't belong here, and that he doesn't, he's not proving his worth and everything. So. Right. I don't know. It was just like a weird conversation, because he's like, "That's why I wanted you."
Right.
Yeah.
I invited you, but not him.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I completely agree with you. After you giving those points, I think that you're 100% right that she's just playing everybody. Tanya said as well, she's so playing Troy. Yeah. Creepily playing Troy with the napkin for sure. That's she's playing dirty now.
Yes, my God. I mean,
but smart.
Yes, very smart, but just so overt. Goes, instead of sitting with her own children, she goes to sit with Troy, and then the little napkin thing was just naughty.
Yes,
very naughty.
Very, very naughty. Well, so what? So do you? So you just think that ultimately she's trying to play them into taking each other out, which
I think so.
That's their only way to survive at this point. There's no way that they're going to take. I mean, how is Nick, Alicia, and Madison going to overtake Brokejaw Ranch on their own? They're going to have to recruit people from within, and turn people on the Ottos and whatnot. And I think if they could get. Again, I don't know how many people would actually even follow Jake at this point, because Troy is the one that's like, take charge. Let's go get these people that, shot down the helicopter, where Jake's, he's trying to say, no, let's talk it out. Who knows, these people, they may not be bad people and everything. And then we see like the Vernon guy step up and basically defend Troy's point of view. The lady that was speaking at the wake, which I don't know if it's a wake. I don't know what you would call that. They're just kind of having a funeral. And
memorial service. That's
memorial. Yes, memorial. So I don't know. I like Troy. I mean, not Troy. Excuse me, Jake. I always get these two confused. Jake and Troy confused. I'll get them eventually.
Jake is the good son.
Yeah, Jake's the good son that we know about. We don't ultimately know.
Did you get a really creepy vibe when Madison goes to visit Luciana in the hospital?
Oh yeah.
I thought she was going to kill her. I didn't know how, but I'm like, because I'm just feeling like she feels like this is a threat to her family unit.
Yeah.
So I seriously thought, and I feel like she didn't. It wasn't that subtle.
No,
that Luciana felt it too.
Oh, I wrote in my notes that whenever she took the visit to see Luciana, she said, "We survive at all costs," and I put "threat" in a question mark, because it definitely felt like a threat to me, to Luciana, because Luciana wants Nick to leave. That's her long game, is like, let's get the hell out of here. I've got a bad feeling about these people, which ultimately I think that she's right to feel that way, but I also think that Luciana needs to start looking from within and looking at Madison and saying, like,
yes,
this
exactly.
chick is crazy. She may try to off me before I can even convince Nick to leave this place. So
Mm-hmm.
Tanya said Jake's not going to last long. He's too nice.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you there. I don't know what's going to happen with that character. I keep getting this sinking feeling that Troy may off Jake at some point. That conversation that they had whenever Troy was out gardening, and basically Jake was asking Troy to kind of step in line. Don't go after the Clarks anymore. Don't interact with them. Just leave them alone. And but he gives these like subtle threats of, I'll tell everybody, who you are. How do you think the people of Broke Jaw Ranch would feel about you if they really knew who you were? And if he keeps throwing those around, I mean,
he's going to wake up dead.
Yeah, exactly. So,
which is the worst way to wake up.
Yeah, who wants to wake up dead? I want to wake up and play video games in the morning. So, all right, Madison playing sneaky games.
Yep, with everybody.
Yeah, with everybody. I agree with you. So, all right, so on to our third topic. Who's the real villain of Fear the Walking Dead Season 3? I thought this was interesting because when we're first introduced to the Ottos, especially with Troy, we're automatically led to believe that these people are evil. Troy's evil. He's doing his science experiments on people to see how quickly they turn. And then we get to Broke Jaw Ranch, and then Jeremiah, is first introduced. He's kind of having that conversation with Madison on the fence. They haven't said who this character is. He just looks like a random guy that's coming to talk to Madison on the fence, and he's really nice and very, very warming to Madison and her family. And then we've got these people that shot the helicopter down. Are they good? Are they bad? We don't know at this point. So who do you think? Do you think that when it's all said and done and we look back on, once we get into a few more episodes, do you think it's going to be the Ottos that are the villains of this season, or is it going to be this group that shot the helicopter down?
Wow. I mean, don't you feel like it's a little early for me to make that decision?
No, it's never too early to have horrible predictions that are sure to have gone wrong.
All right. Okay, so my horrible prediction is that Madison is the villain.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think we've both always felt that way, that
Yes.
Madison is ultimately going to become the villain. I think Alicia, I think that she could very easily become a villain as well. I think weirdly.
Well, now that she's a pot smoker.
Oh my God, pot smoker! You dang dope smoker.
The marijuana cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly. The way that Alicia delivered that line, and Andrew mentioned it earlier, Andrew said he was super pumped. He said Alicia was awesome, loved when they asked her what it's like to kill, and she said, she just said it was easy.
It was easy.
So I could easily see her becoming a villain as well. I think, again, oddly at this point, Nick is kind of the shining beacon of light amongst the group, which is very weird to say, right? I mean, I guess he has been.
The thing about Nick is he doesn't want to do anything to anybody. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. He just really doesn't. Well, I was going to say for the most part he doesn't want to have anything to do with anyone. But now back in that the little town, the little village that he was in, he tried to be a part of that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would have to say, since they're leading us down the path of trying to feel like the people that shot the helicopter down are the bad ones, I'm going to assume it's the Ottos that are bad.
Do you think that the people that shot the helicopter down could be somebody that was actually within Broke Jaw Ranch and, kind of got the boot or escaped from Broke Jaw Ranch? On the surface, this place doesn't seem bad at all, right?
Right.
It's got, good God, we saw Jeremiah Otto's freaking bunker full of supplies. Yeah. I mean, that looks like heaven on earth in the zombie apocalypse. And the people seem to be fairly nice. Some of them seem to be quite bitches, like Vernon and the old lady whenever they were having the memorial service.
I totally get it. I get what they were. She was out saving the unprepared. Charlene was, and that was how she got killed. She was saving the unprepared. She doesn't know them, like Madison said. You don't know my family.
Yeah.
So I get that, that she was really upset. I don't know. It does seem like a really, really great place. And as we know in The Walking Dead, really, really great places are never really great.
No, they're not. And the fact that they had, freaking Jeff's head just hanging out.
It's just weird. And Troy was the one that
took the body. According to the Christ Risen kids, Troy took the body. I have no clue what the hell that means, but I don't know. Because that's obviously something that The Walking Dead showed us with the governor, keeping the heads around and everything. And the governor was obviously a sadistic dude. And so my mind automatically goes to Christ Risen group. Could be semi-crazy and sadistic.
They were weird, that's for sure. But they seemed really naive and extremely unprepared and just naive. I mean, they had no idea what was going on in the world. But apparently they grow great pot there.
I mean, and they're very astute at making bongs out of random supplies.
Yes.
It was a great bong that they made. I've A+ on the bong making skills. Tanya and Andrew bring up good points about Ophelia, because the last time we saw Ophelia, she was with Jeremiah. Andrew thinks that maybe Ophelia is being held captive.
But why?
Well, that's what I was thinking. If you tie it into this whole who's the real villains of Fear the Walking Dead season 3? Maybe Ophelia is that person that got out. Maybe she has escaped. She's either at this point, I think she's either, like Andrew says, being held captive, or she has escaped, and maybe she is now a part of that group that shot the helicopter down because they're like, man, F these people. We can't attack them, face on, because they've got too many supplies. They've got some people that seem to be pretty well trained. Looks like military backgrounds, or at least redneck backgrounds. They
were preppers. They were they were doing this in advance.
Yeah.
But I think there is supposedly not that much time between where we saw Ophelia last and where we picked up at the beginning of this season. I can't remember what they said, but it was only like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when you go back to the end of Fear the Walking Dead season 2, that's when the shit hit the fan, and Nick and Luciana got captured, and that's when that's when we saw Jeremiah come up on Ophelia. Yeah. But who knows? Just like I feel like Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead, they play with their timelines sometimes, quite often. You never know. Like this episode, something happens in it, but then like 3 episodes later, it's like the same setting, and you're like, wait, what's going on here? Because like the next episode after that had like something
totally different, right?
Yeah, like something had already happened, and they kind of go like back in the past. So,
but I do agree that, I mean, she's got to be around there somewhere. So because I think she's still alive.
That would be really weird if they just had that point at the end of season 2 and. Yeah, they've definitely got to get back to that. I don't know when they're going to get back to it. I found this Dante character interesting, and I was laughing to myself because Dante basically has this water cartel. I mean, he's got all the water, and so like in my mind, I love the movie Mad Max Fury Road, and I'm just thinking like Dante is a Morton Joe from Mad Max the Fury Road, like. But he obviously doesn't look as creepy as a Morton Joe. I mean, a Morton Joe is like a really scary-ass dude.
Yeah, Dante is very well dressed and clean. Obviously, he's using the water to bathe.
Yeah.
Which, again, he could share with Nick. That would be awesome.
And Daryl.
Nick was, the 2 dirtiest characters in, the whole zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Nick seemed really, really extra grimy.
He did. He did seem extra dirty in this episode. It's funny though. You say that the 2 dirtiest and grimiest in the in the Walking Dead fandom are also the 2 like most sought after by all the ladies. Go figure, huh?
Yeah, I've moved on to to Jake.
Well, well, you moved on to a weak link, I think. Because
Probably.
I think Jake is definitely going to go. The only thing that, like, I could find, because right now Jake is very uninteresting to me as a character. Like, he's just kind of there to me, and he just seems like kind of a pawn in Troy and Jeremiah's story to, like, just either get killed by one of them or you know, like, not be able to do what needs to be done and then gets killed that way. Because you saw with Alicia whenever she kind of had to save him in episode 2.
They saved each other. That's what he said.
Well, yeah, I think he was lying. He was I think he's trying to save face amongst all the people at Broke Jaw Ranch to illustrate to them, like, hey, I'm just as valuable to you as Troy is, which is not the case in the zombie apocalypse. Troy's a dickhead, but Troy does get shit done, and I mean, if the bad guys come, Troy's going to be the one to kill them, where Jake is going to be the one to try and mediate with them and probably get killed as he's, you know, trying to negotiate some peace treaty. So
that's true.
Unfortunately, I mean, not that I don't like Jake as well, but what would make it interesting with that character is if he was actually, like, bad. Like, that would be cool.
I could tell that's what you're hoping for.
He had that weird moment with Jeremiah where he, like, went up and whispered in his ear and Madison was watching. And that's always, like, one of those telltale signs to me of, like, something is afoot. You know, he's not what he seems. But then again, he could be.
He whispered, "What do you want? What do you want me to do with that Ophelia chick?"
Yeah.
And he whispered back, "Torture her some more." That's what was going on.
And then Jake goes in there with, like, his, like, feather and, like, you know,
give me all the secrets.
I'm gonna tickle your feet. Yeah, because that to me seems like Jake's level of torture right there at this point. So, I know, just totally bagging on your boyfriend.
I know, poor guy.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Tanya said, I agree. Jake is just bland right now. Hopefully that changes soon. Andrew said, he's just a good-hearted guy that tries to help.
Exactly.
I will agree. You know, he is looking out for Madison, Alicia. I think he's looking out for that ass, for sure, because, you know,
everybody wants Madison's ass.
No.
That's not where you thought I was gonna go with that.
I don't think there's gonna be any brother on brother fisticuffs for Madison's
No, it's gonna be dad on son.
Yeah, it's gonna be dad on son for Madison. Man, Jake, you bastard! You just lucked into it. Like, apparently nobody in Broke Jaw Ranch is like, damn, did you see the new girl? You see the new girl? Damn.
Jeff was saying that, but, you know.
Yeah, Jeff definitely was saying that. He's the only smart one amongst all the Broke Jaw Ranch people. That is for sure. So what do you think is going to happen because we didn't even broach the subject of, you know, the huge reveal at the end of the episode, and that is Daniel Salazar being back.
This is so terrible. At this point, do I care?
It depends. It depends on what Salazar is back. If it's that Salazar that was, like, losing his shit and seeing things and going nuts and wasn't really with it enough to survive the zombie apocalypse at that point, no, not interested in that version of Daniel Salazar. The one that freaking tortured Sean Hattasey, like that one. That's my boy right
cool.
there.
There you go. I don't know, and I don't know what's going on with Old Spice at all. Why is I can never remember his name?
Strand.
Yes. You know, did he really not love Thomas? Was he just using Thomas? Who is Dante? What the crap is going on there? What was he selling? Was that what they suggested, that he was selling something at one point? For Thomas or to Thomas, or
I don't know. You know, the Dante guy definitely is not. He's not a fan of, I guess, people that didn't give him the respect that he thought he deserved in the past, which was the cartels. He threw the one guy off the cartel. Which I've got to ask, and anybody in the chat, please let us know. At the 29-minute mark, I wrote this down to myself. Like, did you get some really wonky ass special effects whenever they threw him off the dam?
Yeah.
What the hell was that? Did his face like do something weird, or did I miss that?
They you talking about the special effect of when the dude hit the pile of?
It was before he hit the pile. Like as the guy threw him off the ledge of the dam, there was something
like
that happened
this
in mine.
Weird cloud of dust went up.
I don't know. It was funky as hell. I wanted to go back and watch it again to see if I was just seeing things, because I wrote my notes. I'm like, what the crap editing was that?
I think it was the same person that did the deer in The Walking Dead.
Oh my god! I mean, dear Lord, I think I've seen people like that don't even get paid to make special effects do better special effects than this shit. Oh, good.
Yeah, it was not a good edit.
Yeah, it looked horrible. Andrew said for him too, like that he said, "Oh my god, it looked weird." So yeah, I don't know what funkiness that was, but how about AMC? You know, I know Fear the Walking Dead does not get a whole lot of love, but it's still doing. It's like one of the highest watched TV shows on TV right now. Spend some money, damn it! Like make these shows that gets millions of viewers look better. Like all the other shows, they can have like 800,000 viewers, and their stuff looks on point. It looks fantastic. You know, don't make it look like some class that's trying to learn how to do special effects did your special effects.
maybe it was. It was they had the interns doing it.
Yeah, they've got like some program like, hey, did you want to do special effects in the TV industry? Well, how about you come on down to AMC? No. Marvin's in the chat. How's it going, Marvin?
Hey, Marvin.
It's good seeing you in here. He said been missing a few episodes already, so he is not caught up with Fear the Walking Dead.
Dude, you've only missed 2 Sundays, so it's okay. You have plenty of time to catch up. It's 3 episodes, but you could fast forward through some of it.
Yeah, you could some of it, not all of it. I think
not all of it. It's been pretty good.
Yeah,
so.
I think they've been on a nice trajectory since last season, around episode, I don't know, 8 or 9 mark. Basically, whenever they came back after Comic-Con, I think that it's been a fairly decent show after that time. So, all right, we got to give our bacon scores. I don't think we gave them, or did we already give them?
No, we have not. We've been giving bacon scores all day long because we've been watching E3. So, and I wrote my bacon score down. I think you'll be surprised by my score.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm going to go ahead and give this a 4 out of 5.
Wow.
And I gave it a high bacon score because of all the twists and turns in personalities on this show.
I like it.
So I'm intrigued.
I'm gonna give it, I think, 3.5 out of 5 bacons.
Okay.
I'm just a little bit below you. Honestly, it's such a, Fear the Walking Dead is a very weird show because I give it a 3.5 out of 5 bacons. Sometimes people will be like, that's not a great score. That's that's not awesome. That's a 70 if you were grading out of 100. It's a C. It's a C. Yeah. Not great.
C is not great.
You can pass.
It's pass. You can pass.
Yeah, you can pass.
Get by.
Yeah, but you're not destroying it out there in the world. But I think it's like this episode, there was nothing wrong with it, like other than that weird awkward edit. But other than that, like it was a perfectly fine episode. But I think that's the problem, is they're just perfectly fine episodes. There's never really anything where I'm just totally blown away and I cannot wait to like come talk to you about it because I just couldn't believe what I saw. So, but yeah, 3.5 out of 5 bacons. Andrew gives it a 4 out of 5 bacons. Marvin, you watch them and you let us know what you think. Tanya, if you're still here in the chat, we'd love to get your score as well. Is there anything else that we want to cover before we sign off from this Fear the Walking Dead episode 3 discussion, and then move it on over to our other YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer channel, Old Ass Casuals, and watch Sony's E3 press conference?
So the answer is no. So we can go ahead and move on over.
All right. Well, Tanya says 3 out of 5 bacons.
Oh, Tanya. Ooh.
Lowest score of all of us. Uh-oh.
He's throwing out the hate.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Just kidding. We're probably right there with you. I think my mom's probably lying. She's like,
I'm trying to be the
Jakey boy, you're so
nice
cute.
one.
Let me give you an extra, I'll give you another bacon. So, all right.
Little slice of bacon. I'm going to put it in the napkin on your lap.
You're gonna whoop. You are a creeper. I'm gonna put our YouTube channel in the chat really quickly, so that way if you guys want to come watch our live stream on for E3, for Sony's E3, I will put it there. Watch our stuff.
There's going to be some fun stuff that happens. We hope.
Yeah.
We hope there's going to be some good games.
Yeah. Hopefully some good stuff. There you go. You can just click on that link and follow us. Sorry, Creepy Troy and Choir Boy Jake. Yeah, I think that's the perfect name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perfect name. Perfect name for them. All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us as we chit-chatted about Fear the Walking Dead live here on Facebook. We would love for you guys to hang out with us next week. We'll be doing it Monday night around the same time as we do, I think, each and every week for Fear the Walking Dead. Sometime around, 6:30 to 7?
6, yes, ish.
6 is 7-ish, something like that.
30-ish.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks so much for watching with us. We hope you guys have fun. And, yeah, join us on watching the PlayStation conference. If you guys want to support us on Patreon, it's patreon.com/rantpocalypse as well. Thanks so much for watching. We're out of here. We'll see you guys over on Twitch and YouTubes and all the other things watching E3. Bye.
Bye, kids. Bye-bye now.